Toasty!
Hello, hello. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. We should be live. We are live. Let me see. Okay, Maricopa. Okay, and then I just gotta do one other thing right here. Oh, let me close this shit down, cause if not, this will start playing in the background. Don't want that to happen. Let's see here. All right, all right. How is everybody doing today? What's up, Jenna? How's it going? How does it go, if you will? Plus reference, if you will. Let's move this over here. Hey, what up, Amy? How's it going? Amy, 1967. How did you get a jail phone? eBay. It's in the game. Yeah, I bought it on eBay. I have three prison phones. I got the blue one, and then I got the silver one. Josh wants you to co-host. No gracias, Josh. No gracias. What up, Captain Austin? How's it going? How are you doing today? Let's see, get that chat up and going. I never seen the blue one. Yeah, it just depends what kind of contract the facilities have with these facilities. Toggle. All right, cool. There we go. We got it. Good, chilling. Got home from work. Dang, you have to work on. All right, phone is ringing. All right, let's go ahead and pick it up.
Esta es Global Talent. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Talent.
Hello, hello.
James.
David.
What's up, my boy?
What up? What up? What's going on today?
Yep. Hey, it's right here, kicking back with my ace Jesse Nava, right here posted up.
That's right. That's
he
right.
Just dropped his earpiece right now. He must have been into a pepper that was a little too hot. There he is. He's back.
All right. All right.
A paper towel. What's cracking? What's going on, everybody? What's up, James?
All right, all right. Hey, so for anybody that's new here, this is Jesse and David. They're currently incarcerated in the state of California in a prison named Centinela State Prison, and they've been there for quite some time. So normally we do these calls, to if you guys have any questions, if you guys are curious about anything in prison, feel free to drop any comments and whatnot, and we just have conversation in regards to topics, whether it's free world topics, incarcerated topics. We do a little bit of everything. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Jesse. I can't complain. Just trying to beat this heat. I have the air conditioner going right now, and we're just waiting for you guys to call in.
I don't think it's possible for you to beat the heat. I think you can definitely avoid it. You got to become one with it. Yeah, that's just what it is. But yeah, like James was saying earlier, So this is you've heard of coffee with a cop? Well, this is lunch with a lifer. So it's something that's just what it is. Jesse and I, we've been down for a long time, man. We've been incarcerated for years. Jesse's been in for over 2 decades. I'm getting close to I'm on my 15th year incarcerated. You know, we both grew up in the system, so we call in. James gives us an opportunity to interact with you guys in the world. So if you guys have any, questions and stuff like that, like James was saying, don't hesitate to ask. People are probably like, damn, what the hell did they do? Decades.
Yup.
I started this channel almost 2 years ago, basically just to give people on the outside a look on the inside so they can see a different perspective of prison than what you see on TV. To show that there are redeemable people, there are redeemable qualities in the people in prison. So we're just trying to show people a different side. Yeah, everything you see and hear about prison, it's absolutely that, but there is also another side to prison. And we started off by giving our background stories, our life stories, so anybody that wants to hear more about us, get to know us a little better, by all means, go check out YouTube. They're all on there. You can see the backstory and hear where we came from, how our upbringing was, what brought us to prison to begin with, and the changes that we've made while being here. It wasn't easy. We didn't come to prison, turn our life around, become angels or anything like that. It took a long time, a lot of hard work, and that's who we are today. Like James and David said, we come on here for 2 reasons: to share ourselves with you guys, and this is our escape. This is our opportunity to get up out of here for a little bit and share part of the world. I've been here.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
This is Jesse Nava. I've been in here for 24 years for a violent crime that I committed when I was 17 years old. And so the world was a different place when I came in. This opportunities that we have right now to even be able to have this channel or to be on this channel broadcasting with James, with our friend out there in the real in society, or to have these tablets in here. When I came to prison, when David came to prison, there was none of this. You were out there fighting life and limb for a 15-minute phone call on the wall, where now we actually have tablets in our cells. So this show is just as much for us as it is for you guys. We look forward to meeting people. We've met some great friends, great people, great opportunities have been presented to us, because of this channel. And so we're game for any kind of conversation. Anything that you guys want to know, by all means ask. What makes the show interesting is when you guys are willing to engage. So I want to ask everybody a question who's listening, who's tuning in, whether it's on one channel or the other, one of the platforms or the other. What brings you to this channel? And if you want to ask the same thing, I'll tell you what brings, Dave and I. And I essentially gave you part of that answer. Like I said, this is an opportunity for us to get up out of these cells for a little bit, to spend time with you guys, to see different parts of the world, to make friends, to interact, to engage, and to remove us from the reality of prison. And again, to share with you guys that prison isn't all that everybody says it is. There's some good people in here. When you're talking to us, you might be like, man, I can't imagine this guy being everything that his life story said he was before. And the reality is, because that's not who we are anymore.
So what the reality is, though, what's a fact, right? We are calling from a high-security prison. This is not a camp. This is not a farm. This is a maximum security institution. We're both in a cell right now. We're locked in a cell that's probably a little bigger, or maybe smaller than your bathroom. This is our sleeping quarters. This is where we have our personal stuff, and this is where we have our toilet, all in this little spot right here. And this prison is surrounded by guard towers with high-capacity rifles and lethal electrified fences. We cannot, if they open the door for us to go out into the yard, we're also surrounded by 6 gun towers, 6 towers with officers up there that have lethal rifles. Prison is a very dangerous place, and that's where we're calling from. So it's crazy that a lot of people lose themselves here and a lot of people find themselves here. If you have loved ones that are incarcerated in the system, maybe that's what brought you to this channel. Maybe you guys got people incarcerated here at Centinela. Maybe you work here. So what we try to do is we try to paint a fair picture of the realities of prison, because we hope that we could shed some light on maybe what your loved one is going through. If you work here, possibly maybe your family can kind of see the environment that you come to work in on a daily basis. And also, we want to keep people out of here. We don't want people coming in here and experiencing prison. It doesn't matter what state you're in, what country you're in. Incarceration, it does something to you. It changes who you are. The situations that brought Jesse and I to prison, we're both here for taking somebody's life. Two separate incidents. So somebody lost their lives, and that's why we're here doing time. Two people. And that night, that day that those people lost their lives, the situation didn't just start there. That was an accumulation of a path of destruction that we were both on. And that's what's unfortunate, is because we were so blind that we couldn't see tragedy coming a mile away. But other people could. People tried to intervene, people tried to step in, but we didn't take it seriously. We thought we had it all figured out. And guess what? We know otherwise now. So I think that's one of the biggest takeaways about incarceration and about committing such a crazy, such a heinous act, is that it's not just the night that the events unfolded. You might be seeing changes in your loved one out there in the streets, out there in society, where if there's not intervention, they can easily, one, become the victim of a crime, or they can be the perpetrator of the crime, the victimizer. Or they can get locked up for something, something that they feel is victimless, like drug related or whatnot, and they come in here, and this place it's a whole different world in here.
But for clarification, there's no such thing as a victimless crime.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people came to this channel because James started broadcasting the bookings out there in Sonoma County and Maricopa County, I believe, or one of those counties out there.
Yep.
And so there's obviously some level of fascination with the booking process.
Yeah, Jesse's right. Yeah, and when I say that, I don't mean to promote and say, hey, well, they have this victimless crimes. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we could be under false pretenses, false illusions. We could think, oh, well, I'm just selling drugs. These guys are they're consensual adults and they know what they're doing, and I'm not, what they do is their business. But no, there's a ripple effect to everything we do. Somebody's going to get hurt in the process.
Hey, Jesse.
So that's what I'm.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
So you asked what brought them here, and I want to read out some of the comments that were put on here for as far as what that question that you asked them. Let me see here.
Cool.
Let me get back up because it just scrolled back up right now. Let's see. Somebody put he said coffee with a cop. Nah, lunch with a lifer.
That's my new saying. It's tightening. I want my residuals.
Yeah, I got my little daughter right here. What are you saying?
Hey, that is pretty funny.
Come say it right here in the microphone. All of a sudden, your camera is shy. All right, let me see right here. Let me see the comments here. Let me see. Hold on, I'm trying to juggle two things at once right here with my daughter. My daughter's trying to get in the camera right now. Don't put it because you could drop it right here.
Okay, I'm putting it.
Let me see. Grace put, I find things interesting of being inside. I have never been. I don't think I would ever want to. Let me see. Florida Girl wrote,
I promise you won't ever want to.
Go ahead.
Let me see. Florida Girl wrote, I spent time in jail and prisons, and that's why I watch and love James. Let me see. Bree wrote, Fresno in the house. Let me see here. Grace also wrote, yeah, it's different world inside, I heard. Chad wrote, losing a family member to murder is hard for me to feel bad. Let me see. Miss Leanne wrote, answer my phone every time they call. Always will. They just want that outside conversation. Let me see here. Somebody wanted to know if you're on the roll. Nah, they're not. They're not on D roll. Let me see.
No. Nope.
Let me
Hey,
see.
real quick, I want to comment real quick on the guy who said
That was Chad right there. Yeah,
Chad.
both of us wanted to say something about
saying
that.
that losing someone to violent and vicious violent crime, it's hard to sympathize or feel better, and 100% you have no obligation or expectation from anybody to feel bad for the circumstances of people like Dave and I who we simply are showing with no expectation from anybody in the world, especially victims of crimes like the ones we committed, because we can't even begin to understand what you're feeling or what you're going through. All we can do is make all the efforts that we can to express our extreme remorse and do the hard work to understand the magnitude and the impact of the crimes that we specifically committed. But I can't sit here and even say, man, I could imagine what you're going through. I can imagine and I've lost people close to me as well, but it affects everybody differently, and I don't have a right to tell you, Chad, or anybody else, hey, man, I understand what you're going through. All I can do is say I'm sorry for the pain that you've experienced, and I'm sorry for the situation that you've had to endure. And just know that anybody who truly understands the impact and the magnitude of what they've done should never expect any sympathy or even empathy from someone who may feel like you do. All we can do is be the best versions of ourselves and use our remorse as a motivation to make the right choices to ensure that we never hurt somebody or the many people that we've hurt again. And so I appreciate you even coming on here and listening, and just know that you don't have to feel bad for anybody, bro. Like they build places like this for people like the kind of people that we were. And I know that somebody stole all the opportunities from your loved one and from you, and I did the same thing to somebody else. And because of that, for the rest of my life, I have to live to honor the man's life that I took, because I took all those opportunities from him. And it's not fair. It's not fair that I'm going to go home one day, after 25 years in prison. It's not fair that I even get to sit right here and have this.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
And I understand that, but
I will never ask anybody for forgiveness or think that I deserve forgiveness or anything like that. Like prison is hard, and this is exactly what I got coming for the things that I did. And anybody who's a victim of a crime, I just want you guys to know that we acknowledge the things that we did. We take responsibility for the things that we did, and we're just here just to show you guys that, hey, that we're paying it back in full, and it'll be a debt that we can never repay. Exactly. And we acknowledge that. Yep. And that's it, So
our obligation is forever.
That's it. And I'm going to continue helping people and trying to shed a light on the horrors of this life as long as I live.
In hopes that we can deter someone else from making the same horrible choices that we did.
That's all we're here for. Yeah. Hey, James, we're going to give you a call back right now. It's going to
start off. For sure. We'll be waiting.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody asked me, what is his name? So it's actually two people I'm talking to. They live in the same cell. It's David is normally the one that talks a little bit more, and then David Lopez, and then second up would be Jesse Nava. Sometimes I know at first when I started speaking to them, they sounded very similar, but now I can. Hey, what's up, Lion Lisa? How's it going? Now I could tell them apart. Just by speaking to them. Let me see. I'll read off that message. I had that message right there on the screen, right there, chat. I'll let them know. Thank you. Oh, let me see. Did you just put another one? Let me see. Hold on. I gotta scroll down. So let me scroll down and see what message. Make sure you tell them. Let me see. Hey, what's up, 805? How's it going? Let me see. Which message was the one for the college education? Is that the message you're talking about, Chad? Or the other one? The one that losing a family member? That one, the losing the family member? Or James brings me to the channel. You dropped the. Let's see. No, I tried to pin it. It won't let me. Huh, that's weird. Well, if you want, type it up again because you put 3 up there. I'm not sure which one you're referring to. But yeah, I'll go ahead and or I'll just read out 3 of them, and then that'll make it easier. Pictures. Pictures. What pictures? I'm confused. This one, James. All right. So we're just waiting for them to call back right now. When they call back, we'll go ahead and continue. I'm a little bit on the tired side, but today's my day to put in some work on TikTok, if you will. Oh, maybe it's filtered. Yeah, I think it is. I think it might be filtered, whatever you're putting up, because I'm not seeing it come up. How's everybody doing today? If you guys wouldn't mind letting me know where you guys are tuning in from, I'm always curious to find out where people are listening in from. And right now, when David and Jesse call back, we'll go ahead and continue. There might be something wrong with their phone right now. That's why they're not.
Before a judge.
All right, cool. Let me see. Let me lower this volume a little bit more to make sure it's not too.
In Arizona.
Yes. The 24-year-old is.
Okay, got that. I'm gonna keep this queued up. And let me see. Florida, England, Sunset Beach, North Carolina, Alaska. You're in Alaska? Let me see. I do like you guys and sound like good people. I'm very sympathetic for you and and for your families. Is that okay? I got you. I got you, Chad. I got you. That one, James. Okay, cool. I got it. I see it now. Let's see. Let me copy it. Okay, here it goes. Okay, phone is ringing.
This is Global
This
Telling.
call is now
you
being
have a
recorded.
prepaid call from
David Lopez.
an incarcerated individual at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial
All right, for
5
sure, Chad.
now.
Let me see. Cinco.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
James.
David.
Yeah, sorry, man. The tablet's a little delayed right now.
Yeah, that's what I
Like when we
figured.
call out.
Yep.
Yeah, it acts up. It's been doing that for probably like a week and a half right now.
It's
So,
all
you know
it's
how
all
this is,
good.
what do you
Yep.
call it? Global trash link, is that what you call it? Tail link,
Garbage
tail
cell link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll remember.
Yeah.
What other questions or comments did you have on there, James?
Let me see. All right. So hold on. Let me get it up on the screen right here. It's just my computer's a little bit on the slow side right here. Let me see. Chad also wrote, James brings me to the channel. He's a great dude and great to engage with. Hey, thank you, Chad. Highly appreciate it, man. Appreciate those kind words right there. Let me see. And then he also wrote, when we're waiting for you to call back, he wrote, I do like you guys and sound like good people. I'm very sympathetic for you and your families. And then let me
Thank you. That's cool. Yeah, thank you.
let me see. I'm trying to read through the comments right here. And I'm just scrolling down through the messages right now. I'm a few messages behind, so I'm just trying to scroll through them really quick to check which ones are pertaining to. Let me see here.
We got to do it old school. James got to read off the messages.
Yep. Let me see.
it is.
No Face wrote, the new generation trauma these things cause is nuts.
Yeah.
And then Grace wrote, you have to possibly think before you act. Chad also wrote that they get college education I could only dream about for free. It's wild. Let me see. We got Annie.
True.
Annie's coming in from. She writes, "Hi Jesse, it's Annie from Australia again." Let me see.
Yeah.
And
Annie
then
from Australia. How are you doing?
Hi, Annie. I think that's
Oh, that's cool.
And then let me see, we got Grace. Grace wrote, just like the guy, just went inside for taking four beautiful souls in Idaho. I'm not familiar with that one. I gotta look that case up. Kimberly,
Oh, that's that idiot.
which one?
You're talking about that. You're talking about Kohlberger, or no? There's another one over there. There's one. There's the one that freaking that did that to the firefighters up there too. Well, yeah, Kohlberger took 4 beautiful souls, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Completely innocent people.
I just
that
can't
have
think.
absolutely nothing to do with anything.
I just can't think of
doing it.
for the life of me. You know how he could do something like that.
That's him. Yep.
It blew my mind. Yeah, he's gonna freaking. He's gonna have a hard time, man. What you got's coming too. That dude's gonna go to prison doing something like that to them beautiful girls, you know, and he's done. They're gonna have to keep him in solitary confinement probably for the rest of his life. And when he goes out to the main line somewhere, they're gonna make him
become somebody's old lady.
mincemeat of that dude. Yeah, there's no freaking way.
Yeah.
I just can't.
And it's just funny though how even criminals though compartmentalize.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Like people, the guys that are probably going to hurt him are probably also killers themselves. But when you live this life, you justify and rationalize one crime over another.
That's the warped sense of the warped perspective that we get is we're young gang members and all that. Like there's a we think that we're operating by a G code, and it's like, man, at the end of the day, people are getting hurt, innocent people are getting hurt, and just because somebody is dressed like a gang member or a cholo and all that, it doesn't mean that that's a death sentence. We get that warped sense where it's like, all right, well, that fool, he's representing something. He's from this neighborhood. Like, if we don't like his answer, then he knows what it is. He knows what he signed up for, and it's ridiculous.
But definitely that stuff in Idaho was just like, even when we watch it and we've been around violent crime our whole life, we look at it and it just like the logic just misses me completely. I'm just like, what is this dude thinking? Like, man, this guy just for no other reason than to see if he could do it. It wasn't an impulsive thing. It wasn't this guy planned this just to see if he could get away with it, like a straight whack job. And look at how much life and opportunity that these girls still had. Like the kid, the guy, because it was 3 girls and a guy.
Yeah.
Like look at they were going to school. They were going to be somebody. They were doing something with their life. These weren't drug addicts. These weren't gang members. Not that it makes it any better. But these people in no way, shape, or form had put themselves in a bad way. This was just an evil person that was looking to project that evilness onto somebody, and that's what he did. And he ruined so many lives, It's like anybody who takes somebody's life.
We heard that story though about in comparison, right? Okay, so there's that kid that got busted for. What was he doing, James? He was that social media kid.
Oh yeah. So look, hey. So for that kid, I actually got the video queued up. It's like a 2-minute clip from the news. I want you guys to hear it and to get your feedback on what you guys think about this youngster. So I'm gonna play it up right now. Let me know if it's too loud or if it's too low. I'm gonna hit play right now.
All right. I would say that's too low.
Definitely too low.
Hold on, I have it on mute right now. Let me take it off of mute.
also known as Heston James Online, was arrested and taken before a judge following his recent actions against several Tempe businesses. Some he filmed for social media.
Do you reside in Arizona?
Yes.
The 24-year-old is facing 3 felonies and multiple misdemeanors. Tempe police claim he did these pranks for social media views, and his charges range from burglary, trespassing, to criminal impersonation.
These videos are definitely not pranks. They are crossing the line from something that's fun and playful into criminal territory, right? They're breaking laws.
Earlier this month, we spoke with the owner of one of the 5 businesses Tempe police say Cobb targeted, Highland Auto. Their surveillance cameras captured the so-called prank where dozens of people swarmed the building pretending to be mechanics.
So they're going into these businesses and they are impersonating the employees.
One of Cobb's recent videos on TikTok is an example of the videos Tempe police is talking about.
So that actually is a felony charge.
Cobb has more than 1 million followers on TikTok and Instagram and is also on YouTube. While the owner of Highland Auto is glad about the arrest, he tells us it bothers him how Cobb was trying to make money off of hurting his business, giving us this statement. Hopefully this will put pressure on Instagram, YouTube, and all of the other platforms to really look at what people are posting. This isn't the first social media influencer arrested in the Valley for their actions in videos. Back in December, 27-year-old Charles Smith filmed himself spraying bug killer on food products in Mesa. Tempe police are warning those looking to gain views at the expense of others.
This is actually going to get you charges. So are you ready to face the fact that you could be going to jail for a prank just to get some views?
Now, there are others in these videos, and Tempe police say that they're still investigating, so they could have more charges and more arrests in the future. As for Cobb, his preliminary hearing is set for August 1st.
All right, so that was it right there.
Well, he's going down.
So what exact damage did he do to the business other than him and his friends going in there dressed like mechanics? What is the damage?
As far as property damage, I'm not sure if they caused any, and I haven't seen any videos of him causing any property damage. The videos that I have seen is like him being like in Walmart, and that fool starts screaming like a lady, like that's being attacked on aisle 10. They're getting the blue light special, and then people come running and see, you know, like they expect to see like a woman in distress, and they can't find anybody. So he's like messing with them, trying to look for somebody. Or he'll walk into like the videos that they were talking about right now in Arizona, where they went into like a mechanic shop, and they all like maybe like 10 or 15 different individuals went into this mechanic shop, and they started going under the cars. I'm not sure if they grabbed any of the tools or if they tried to do any work on the cars. That's unclear to me. But when I did watch the court hearing, they were saying that a lot of these individuals, they were scared for their life. So I guess being scared for your life now it equals to getting some felony charges now.
I mean, that kid's gonna burn. It's going down.
They should crucify that boy.
No, it's going down, James.
From the looks of it, yeah.
There's room on the row. There's room on death row right now.
Yep, we're going to start cleaning out the cell right next door.
Yep. Not in the way. Felipe needs a celly. Yeah.
Felipe's going to need a celly.
Hey, we got Marlene in the chat.
Marlene.
What's cracking, Marlene?
It's been a horrible 3 weeks, Marlene. Horrible. I keep listening to 80s breakup love songs, and it's driving me bonkers. Hey, I was listening to Take a Look at Me Now by Phil Collins earlier, and it broke me, James. It broke me.
I came back, and he was curled up in the corner in a puddle of tears.
Yeah, for the viewers that don't know, I am separated from my spouse, and it jacks me up. I'm doing better now, but man, I don't do myself any favors by just going straight to the 80s breakup songs.
Hey, we're gonna have to keep you off the Stingray app.
Hey, no, I'm serious. Yeah, I listened to Taylor Swift too, and that made me more like liberating angry. Yeah, Katy Perry and freaking Taylor Swift, man, they really get you going. But
hey, James. So this kid, right?
Yeah.
The reality is, I'm a little old school in that sense. Like, I think these people nowadays are a bunch of weirdos. Like, everybody does a bunch of dumb shit, like thinking that, you know, that's going to be their...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And you
claim to fame, huh?
Yeah, you see people killing themselves and getting hurt real bad just for dumb stuff. Now, that sounds like some dumb shit this fool did. I don't know how he really harmed anybody or anything like that, but common sense tells you that you don't go into somebody's business or somebody's place of work and just disrespect the place, you know, like that. Especially a mechanic shop or something like that. Screaming in the stores, that's definitely you know, a disruption. It's a disruption because with all the craziness going on in the world today, you know, a woman screaming in the store, somebody's gonna be terrified, you know.
That's like swatting, isn't it?
And that's I was trying to think of the term. That's like swatting. It's like the same thing as swatting, and that's been a crime forever, you know. But whether they should crucify him and go all crazy to make an example on him, I don't know if that.
I think that's like community service.
Yeah.
Like a fine and community service and maybe 30 days in jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they want to be dicks, you know what I'm saying? Like I heard this kid was looking at 9 years. 9 years max or something. I'm like, damn, that's
Mm-hmm.
for voluntary manslaughter. The max is 11 years.
Yep.
In California.
Yep. You take a man's life with a knife, you know. And
Yeah, that's
11 years.
insane.
You go doing dumb pranks like that. But at the same time, it's like, come on, is this the kind of senselessness we got running around out there every day? Because you see, this is constant.
I'm surprised he's not facing RICO charges in this climate.
Yeah, they try to get puffed at it.
You're right there next to Giddy, huh? Shut up with Giddy. Covered in baby oil.
Done.
Man.
And how old is the guy? 24?
I would say, yeah, he's in his early 20s. I think he's from like 2000, 2001. So yeah, he's not that old.
Right, but he's not a kid either.
No, yeah.
Not a kid.
But you guys know they say the brain doesn't develop until what, like 28 or 27 now. So he might have
26. I would hope. I'm thinking 30. I'm thinking 30. 30
Yeah, I committed my crime at 30. So
well, I committed my crime at 29, so
Yeah.
I think 30 will be great.
I did my crime at 17, so anything after 17, I'm good.
The brain doesn't develop until 40s, so you're in your 40s.
Right.
43.
But that only applies to males.
Oh, females, oh my God. They'll outsmart me at 7. Yeah. Well, so it's crazy.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Women mature faster than men.
They do. So I see we just got hit with the 60-second announcement. If you guys want to go ahead and call back, and we'll go ahead and continue. I got somebody that said that they have a question for you. Void you out has a question for you guys. All right. So sorry guys. So I'll go ahead and start going down the list of questions. Hey, what's up, Starlight? How's it going? Florida Girl, you're asking if they have a future release date. Jesse, he's gonna go in front of the parole board next year. I think in either December, I think January. So if everything goes well for him, he might be coming out by this time next summer. David, he still has a few more years. I think he's eligible to go in front of the parole board in 2030. So what are we, 2025? So in about 5 years before he could go in front of the. Did you see what I sent you? Right in the chat right here, or where did you send it? Google it. Oh no, I didn't. I might have missed it.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el. Gracias por utilizar
5.
Global Telling.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Wasn't so long.
Well, they're working a lot better now.
Yep. All right. So what's this question you speak of?
Let me see. So Void You Out wrote, what do you think? What do they do with the pedos in there? Do they protect them or let them be around everybody?
The pedos.
The pedo.
The thing is with it depends. It depends where you're at. So they obviously put them on yards that are like softer yards. And most of the time they're victimized. You know, they're like the way that they act around those dudes is that they don't have any kind of protection. The office, like if somebody will like jump on them, the officers obviously will run over and like break up the fight and all that, but they kind of like they're on their own. Nobody would like defend them or anything like that, you know. I've seen those dudes get beat up like on a daily basis. The same people. Yeah, they don't have a good. There's yards where they go on and they'll be killed immediately. So they have to keep them in places where people aren't really like looking for that. But if they find out who they are, like on the yard, it'll get around pretty fast. if they're there for something like that, and they're going to catch the blues. That's just what it is.
Thank you for answering that, David. I got a comment from 20 Moonstone 10, and she writes, "There are people who deserve forgiveness and a second chance, like Silas, but not that Idaho dude."
Yeah. And I feel like that, and that's what's crazy. It's like, who am I to judge with my history? And then you see in comparison, right? Someone like Silas, someone like Jesse, someone like me, like, we take responsibility for the things that we've done. Does that mean that we deserve responsibility? Well, that's up to you guys. That's not something that we can say, well, okay, well, I'm finally ready for forgiveness, or I'm it's time for you to forgive me because I've done all these things. And I feel like that would be insensitive to the victims of crimes. I can't. I think that Silas has made the changes necessary to no longer be a threat to public safety, and you could see by his walk in here.
And that's why he's going to go home.
And that's why he's going to go home, because they felt that he's no longer a threat to public safety. The California Department of Corrections. You can see the difference, right? So what does remorse look like to us? And this goes to anybody out there, anybody that's doing time, or any of your loved ones. You can tell if they're remorseful for the life that they've lived. How can you tell?
Why don't you ask the listeners what remorse looks like?
Let's ask that before I go into
what it looks like to you.
What it looks like to us. What does remorse look like to you out there? What would you like to see in
remorse?
In remorse, or incarcerated people demonstrating the remorseful acts? We would like to know that.
Anybody listening, feel free to chime in.
I need you
Tell us what remorse looks like to you.
And I need you to be a quick. I need the relays quick, James.
Let's say everybody's done something wrong. How did they atone it?
I need you to fire off on all cylinders, James.
Marlene wrote, change behavior. Carrie,
that's excellent. Yeah.
Carrie wrote, did you see what I sent you? Not Carrie. I think whatever you're typing, it might be filtered out. The only thing that I saw was that, and this happened Friday.
What happened? I want to see it.
I'm not sure. Yeah, she's trying to type something, but it's not coming up on my screen. I think whatever she's typing, it might be filtered out, so it's not popping up on anybody's screen. But yeah.
Terry's talking shit, or is Terry? Trigger words?
Maybe. But yeah, Marlene wrote change behavior.
Get that? Yeah.
That's definitely a component of remorse.
That it is. What else? What else you guys got for us?
Let me see. Void you out wrote, is he prepared for the real world once he is released?
Absolutely.
They don't just release people who have been in prison for what we're in for. They don't just release you. In order to be found suitable by the Board of Parole, you don't get to just serve your time and then say, hey, you know what, you got sentenced to 25 to life and you get to go home after 25 years or 40 years or whatever. What happens is you have to do a rigorous transformation. You have to be able to articulate how you became the kind of person that justified and rationalized committing the violent crime that sent you to prison. You have to be able to identify every aspect of your flawed character, and you have to be able to show how you've rectified that and corrected that. You have to have solid parole plans. You have to have solid relapse prevention plans. You have to have a solid support network. There's so many components to go into being found suitable and being let back out into the world that even with all the work we do, though, you can't 100% prepare for being out there because the world's moving a lot faster than prison. But as long as you understand that and you're aware of that, you can.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And make adjustments. But for the people who get found suitable, most of them are prepared to deal with life out there, even if it's a little bumpier for others. For some than others, I should say.
Let me see here. There was a question on here. There was a few questions. Let me see. Florida Girl wrote, accepting your wrong, change in mind, heart, soul, walk with God.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of lines up with those.
Kelsey wrote, what new piece of technology are they most excited about?
I mean, I'm a nerd, so this goes deep for me. I'm into space and all kinds of yeah, I'm into a lot of stuff. As far as an individual piece of technology, I would say AI is great right now. You know, what you can do with AI as far as if you know how to, if you're familiar with prompting correctly, prompt engineering, different types of technology that can help you to guide you, you know, in job searching and whatnot. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to say AI as well too, because it's like its capabilities are endless, and so it's definitely going to make so many different aspects of the world and even adjusting to the world smoother, because you have this assistant, this tool at your disposal that can help you get caught up. Because we're like myself, I've been down for 24 years. The world is a total different place 24 years ago. When I get back out to society, technology has been so innovative. There's been so much stuff happening, so much technology created that I'm way behind. But given the fact that AI is the fastest growing innovation, the fastest growing technology, it in of itself can actually bring me up to date just by having an understanding of what it is and how it operates. It can help me navigate many other aspects of life and technology.
I like smart TVs too. You know,
TVs?
Yeah, and the VR, virtual reality goggles that they have now.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching it on VR.
Yeah.
Oh, did I do that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It got that was a quiet laugh from James. He's like,
Hey, I got my VR headset here, you know, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. He was like,
I'm definitely gonna get the VR in my.
You had to swallow that laughter.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I'm super into that. You know, I think that as things progress, technological advancements like in AI are going to be crazy. They're starting to. Well, they know that it's very difficult to mimic human, actual human behavior and movements. That's why we don't got androids yet. But I'm excited for the future in that. I would like to see them create actual androids. And they're working on it.
Yeah. What's it called? Narrow and deep.
Yep.
Narrow and deep AI. Or was it? What's the term they use?
You're talking about hard and soft AI?
Hard and soft, yeah. Narrow and hard.
Yeah, most of the stuff that's out there, we actually know a lot about AI, Jesse and I.
Yep.
So we know a lot about technology, and like I said, I'm a super nerd.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Dave and I are actually creating mini courses right now for another state in the United States for the Board of Prison Terms.
Yeah.
It's a reentry program that we're actually a part of to help train incarcerated and formerly incarcerated in artificial intelligence and how to utilize it, to give them a general understanding of what AI is, basically, and how to utilize it to navigate digital work platforms, creating resumes, job search, all that stuff, so they can do, for people that are previously incarcerated, it makes it easier for them to become employable because they've been gone for a long time, so they're not at a disadvantage because they're coming out into a world with, like how she asked, as far as technology, or like how I said, the world's going to be a different place. Fortunately for me, I've had the opportunity, and Dave's had the opportunity and the privilege to get hooked up with a great university, a tech university in the East Coast, and they've taught us a lot. A very good friend of ours.
Yeah, I'm mind blown how much I know about it now.
Yeah, who actually teaches computer science, actually is a computer science professor. She's an engineer. And so what we're working with the team, with an AI lab, out there, and we're creating mini courses to certify formerly incarcerated and incarcerated, so that they can get back out to the world, and it makes them more eligible for employment, more marketable for employment, because a lot of digital platforms aren't really worried about background checks and stuff like that. So at least it gives them something to help them get back on their feet, because 95% of people that are incarcerated are going to be back out in society. Wouldn't you want them to be successful to prevent them from going back to a life of crime? You know, a lot of criminals are opportunists, and when they have nothing going on for themselves, they're going to go to what they know, and that's committing crimes. So we're hoping to give them something in their toolbox that might help them to succeed upon parole. And so,
well, that brings us back though to what remorse looks like. All of that's what it looks like to us.
Yep.
You know, a lot of you guys said some amazing things out there, and that's what it is. Look, selflessly giving back to our community, maintaining a conscious contact with our higher power. You know, Jesse and I both believe in a higher power. We both believe that a higher power is working within our lives. Lifting the blinders, you have to take responsibility for what brought us here, for the situation. 100%, you got to take responsibility for it, or you're not remorseful. You can't make excuses. We don't make excuses for what happened. I did it. Trust me, I made excuses in the past. Tons of excuses. I blamed everybody but myself, including the victim. You know, and that was unacceptable. You know, and that's not showing remorse or empathy. I had to put myself in the shoes of that person's loved ones. And that's why what Chad said earlier, it really stood out to us, but Jesse's done the same thing. We had to put ourselves in the shoes of that man's family, because they're the ones that are still living this out. The guy who's gone, he's gone. He's not here on this earth anymore. The people that are living are the people that love him the most, and they're going to carry that burden every single day.
Every time a holiday comes,
every
time a birthday
passes,
even as simple as sitting down at the dinner table and there's an empty seat, or sitting at the couch watching the other family members do their thing, and then if a mother of this man or a sister of this man or a nephew of this man, we don't know how often they're sitting there thinking, damn, what if my tío was here, what if my uncle was here, what if my dad was here.
Well,
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
The man that I took from this world, his son's probably about 15, 16 years old. And my change is dedicated to that child, hoping to God that he's not growing up in the system like I was, because my dad was taken from me when I was at a young age, and it didn't work out well for me. So that's a burden that I carry, and for good reason. You know, I have to live with that for the rest of my life, just like he does.
Hey,
we'll give you a call back, James.
Hey, Starla said, "Damn, back to back, gotta love GTL."
We got hit, huh? That was crazy. I know. I felt like it. So, all right, we'll call back.
All right. So Carrie, I guess your messages were being filtered out or whatever. But I did see that it came up on the news. Was it like yesterday, I think, or the day before that? I haven't seen. I just read the headlines, so that's all I know. But I'll go ahead and check it out. Was he in Maricopa County, if you will? All right. So they should be calling back shortly. Once they call back, then we're going to continue. These calls are free, but they are limited to 15 minutes a call. Once they call back, then we'll go ahead and continue. What do you guys think about Heston, James? Do you guys think that he should do time in jail, prison, possibly? What do you guys think? Did you guys see the lady that fainted earlier on today? We were watching court. For those of you that caught the early court, this I think it was the 11 a.m. court. Damn, that was like the fakest faint I ever seen in my life. That's good. They're free. See Felipe coming on at 7. Yeah, well, we'll see. You know how that goes, Marlene.
This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call
This call is now being recorded.
I showed my husband.
An incarcerated
Hey, what's up, Carrie? Oh,
the
Carrie G.
Centinela
Oh,
State
G.
Prison, Centinela, California. This call and/or telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now.
Cinco.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir. What else you got for us, James?
Let me see right here. Oh, somebody had asked if Hispanic people could hang around with white people in prison.
Yeah. The crazy part of, Hispanics, we've always kind of ran with the whites in here. But it depends where you're from. Normally, in California prisons, the Southern Hispanic, because I don't mention gangs or anything like that, so we're just going to say people that are from Southern California and that region generally share restroom areas and certain like workout areas and stuff with whites. Northern Hispanics in the past used to generally share some of the same areas as the blacks. Now things have kind of changed and shifted, where people are kind of just, we're kind of integrated a little bit more now, but it's kind of always been like that traditionally, People from Southern California generally, we all feel comfortable being around the whites a little bit more than anybody else. But everybody, like, prison is divided down racial lines a lot, so it's pretty split in that regard. Everybody still has their own little areas, stuff where it's kind of off limits to everybody else. It's what it is.
All right, let's see. Next one would be Void You Out wrote, who is the longest person that's been in there so far, if you know?
I've kind of heard some women that have been in for like 50, 60 years. I remember that Manson chick was in for a long time.
Yep.
We know guys, though, that are, it's kind of common for us to run into guys that are in here 30 years, 35 years, 40 years,
I was busting with a dude 42 years.
Well, Tito's been in for 40 years.
Yeah.
He's got a C number, but that's generally the longest that we see. For us, 40 years is the longest. 30, 32, 33 years is kind of common in here. We see it like.
Damn, Marlene wrote, Gary's been in for 20 years in September.
Yeah, no, it's true. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Jesse's been in for 24 years. And to us, that kind of time, like, it's like, yeah, 27 years to us, it doesn't really seem like too long. I guess it goes fast. Seems like a long time, but then again, it doesn't,
Well, there's no concept of time when you're in here doing a life sentence.
Yeah, it's weird. It's hard
the
to
way we were
explain.
living it before.
Yeah.
Now that's not the case, because when you're doing the right thing and you know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, you can't help but to be conscious of time. But it's still not the same as it would be for somebody out there who would keep track of something like that. Like, sometimes it seems like I just got busted yesterday, but it's because every day was just lived for the day, and not really, it wasn't about doing the years. It was just like, I'm living for the day, and we'll figure out what tomorrow holds.
It's crazy that, James, so the way you look at it, right? I've been in for 15 years. Do you think that that's a long time?
Hell yeah. For me, it is.
And so for me, I feel like it's not. I feel like, just 15 years. But I've been in here, I came in, like I said, I came in when I was younger. I came in through the juvenile system. I was actually in prison when I was 18 years old, and on my old number. So I came into prison in 2000 for the first time, and I discharged that number in 2009.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I discharged that number in 2009, and then I came back with life in 2010. That's when I came in for this one. So when I think about it, it's like, well, I guess I've spent so much time in here that you tend to just, the walls kind of disappear after a while. And I think they understand that, when they're thinking, well, the guys who are going to stay in prison, you can only punish them for so long. The purpose then becomes, are they still a continued threat to public safety? You know, we're here on the taxpayer's dollar. That's what it is. You know, you guys out there paying, you know, well, anybody in California is paying taxes on incarceration. So you think like, well, are we paying to keep people in that can be productive citizens now after we've done decades in prison?
That can go out there and pay taxes for the next person that's in here.
Yeah. You know, you've seen the guys that our social circle that's getting out, James. Like you've met them. You know, we haven't sent you a bad hombre out there. You know, you see guys they're really humble.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, these guys, they've made mistakes. But you've met Pablo, you've met Jeremiah, you've met Blue. You know, you've seen what it is. Ricky, are you going to be here for Ricky in a couple days?
I'm just waiting for him to give me the word. As soon as he lets me know. I mean, as long as it's before Friday, I'm there. But yeah, I mean,
I don't think I believe he'll be out by Tuesday.
Tuesday, you think?
You don't think so, Jess?
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably about the second.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Yeah, because they already affirmed his date. So really, what do they got? 5 days after that?
Yeah. But it's 5 business days, so 5 days would be. So if he got found, if they affirmed his date on Wednesday, it would be Wednesday would be the first day, Thursday second, Friday would be the third, Monday the fourth, Tuesday the fifth. Oh shit! I better start packing my bags, and I gotta tell my wife I'm out.
I'm out. Yep. Hey, did you ever get your bike back from Blue?
No, but he was supposed to pick it up from. He was supposed to pick it up from Pablo last week.
Oh, Pablo's supposed to get it from him?
I think so, but I'll double check. I'll check up with them to find out what's going on.
Ricky might need a bike too.
Yeah. What about your painting?
If everything goes well this week, then I'll be there for this week. I'll have it in my hands this week.
Hey, we want you to get that painting so bad. Like, you don't understand. Like, we've waited probably 8 months to get you that painting.
It's been a year. It's about to be a year.
Has it?
Yeah, because I was supposed to get it when Jeremiah came out. Remember, Jeremiah got out in August.
Damn, he's been out that long, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Feels like just yesterday he got out. That's crazy.
Yeah, and we also Ricky's gonna take those things for your wife, for you, the little statue that we had.
Yeah, we had. They're all petrified now.
Yeah.
But I think you'll love it, James. Honestly, I do. I think you'll love it more than your wife. But it's for you guys.
Yeah.
It's a little like.
They want your initials on it.
Yeah, they're all painted initials. It's like what you would put on a tree. You know, when you're like in teenage love.
For sure, hell yeah.
And then, yep. And then, so what's amazing for me about Ricky, right? And for the people out there that don't know, Ricky was one of my past victims. And he was.
I know, I remember.
Yeah, he wasn't like a traditional, well, I don't want to say what's a traditional victim and what's not, but yes, me, I was in a prison gang. My cellie was in a prison gang. Not Jesse, Jesse was in freaking prison gangs, but I'm talking about the different, thing going on. So, Ricky was a target. I had got to a 180 level 4 yard, which is a maximum security prison, very violent place. And from my experience, I knew what I told myself was as soon as I get there, I'm going to have to hurt somebody on the yard. That's just what it is. I got to find somebody, and I have to look for a technicality so it can justify what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make a move on the first person that I can as soon as possible. Drop a yard. So my man Ricky Black was a porter in the building, which means that he was a tier tender. He worked in the building, mopping and cleaning up the stuff in the building, And we were annoying. I got there to not only was I on the 180 level 4, but I was on C status, which means I didn't have any privileges because I was always in trouble. So I didn't have a TV, I didn't have a radio, I hardly had any property. Like, I didn't have shit coming. I had been sent there from another level 4 institution for committing violence and all kinds of other crazy shit. So when I get there, we're annoying. It's like we're living in the hole. As soon as we come on the yard, it's usually something's going to happen, but I had to find a victim. That's what I was looking for. I was like, man, I got to find somebody. I can't just jump on anybody for anything. There's got to be something. So here comes my man Ricky Black mopping the tier, right? And we're being annoying. We're talking loud, and Ricky just loses it, right? Ricky's just like, man, you motherfuckers ain't got no respect for me. He said everybody's just loud all the time and don't want to, he said, I'm just trying to do my job, and so me and my cellie looked at each other. I was like, all right, well, as soon as the door opens, we're going to attack Rick. We're going to attack, he went by another name at that time, And I thought, well, we're going to get off on him as soon as we have an opportunity. Well, they happened to do a medical call at that time, and the door opened. There was a nurse in the building, and me and my cellie ran down the stairs and jumped on him. So all these years later, we got sprayed up. It was a big old incident, and it was messed up, what we did to Ricky, because he didn't have that coming, but we didn't know him. And that was in our warped mind. He was open game. He opened his mouth. He was in, that was our house, and we had to show him that we were the dominant threat right there. And so all these years later, Ricky goes on his journey of change. I go on my journey of change. We meet back up here, and this man, we went by gang names at that time. Ricky went by a gang name, I went by a different gang name. And so we're talking to each other, and Ricky's like, man, you look familiar. And I'm like, man, you look familiar, but you could see a light within us. I could see a light within Ricky, and he could see a light within me. And it completely masked that evil that we were before all those years ago. This happened in probably, 2016? And I sent you the write-up for that, James, didn't I?
Yep.
The 115 for that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I sent you that, yeah. And so Ricky's talking to me. He's like, they used to call me this, right? And I'm like, what the hell? And then James is like, Jesse tells him, he's like, hey, this is the one that this is the one that got into it with you over there. He's like, that's not him. He goes, he used my old gang name. He goes,
in case you guys are wondering what their old gang names were, it was Dumb and Dumber.
He goes, no, yeah. He's like, that wasn't him. That was Dumb and Dumber jumped on me. And then Jesse's like, well, that's dumb right there. And Ricky's like,
well, I'm dumber. How you don't remember me?
Holy shit. He goes, it is him. And, we met with the handshake. It was almost like reintroducing ourselves again with the handshake. Hey, how you doing, man? Wow. Just taking a good look at each other. And I'll tell you what, Rick, man, he turned out to be one of my really good friends. He wrote me a beautiful support letter for board. And it's so crazy because what we did to him, in a sense, Ricky didn't have that coming. I purposely went there to attack somebody. It didn't matter who it was, as long as I had a reason. And Ricky's reason, the reason for doing that wasn't a good reason. I was grasping at straws. And the reason why most of us do things like that in prison is out of fear. I was afraid of the yard that I was on. It was a scary place. Yes, I was there for taking somebody's life. I was, and for all intents and purposes, a violent gang member. But deep down inside, I was a scared person. And I equated violence with safety. The more violent I was, the safer I was. And I understand that now.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And on Tuesday or Wednesday, you guys are going to get to see that man walk out of prison after 25 years.
25 years.
25 years. That man gave to the system. And he got found suitable for parole. And I'm going to be emotional watching Ricky walk out of this place. That's how close we got. And he's just one of those people that I see him on the yard, I look at him, I take a good look at him, just like I did Blue. And, when I'm out there today, I was out there and I shook his hand. But really, I'm just looking at him because I don't know when's the next time I'm going to see Ricky again. I don't know when that's, my friend, my friends that leave this place. And that's always hard because, I get to watch these guys walk out of here, and it might be for good. My friends, my brothers, my family in here, and it could be.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I still have a life sentence. And so those are things that are, that are crazy to process. So those are very emotional, times for me. I'm going to listen to 80s breakup songs. I think that's the best thing that I can do.
Hey, Miss Leanne wrote, "Be free when you get out."
That's it. Well, sorry, Miss Leanne, I'm gonna be free right now. My freedom comes from me. Comes from the inside. They could incarcerate me physically, but internally, I'm gonna be free. That's just what it is, you know.
That's one of the greatest things that comes with recovery.
Yeah, it's that freedom, that inner freedom.
Yep, because we're no longer captive to all the darkness that was inside of us before.
Yep. You got more calls, James?
I got one more.
All right.
All
Give me
right.
a call back.
For sure. The My House mindset, if you will. That's right. You are free. All right. So after this phone call, I'll be back at about 7, about an hour. I got a video visit coming up with Felipe. And then I probably won't be back into court. Maybe at 11. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be back because I've already spent too much time on social media today. I did 4 hours in the morning. Then I did the 2 p.m. court, and now I'm back for these phone calls. And then I got the video visit with Felipe. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be on tomorrow. Later on for court. If you do if you same because you've been on, if you do want to catch up for the other court hearings I had today, everything's archived on YT, if you will. I'm trying to work at that. I'm trying to work at the same time. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to concentrate. Yeah, not gonna work for me. But yeah, so man, well if Ricky Black gets out this week, then stay tuned. Definitely make sure you got the alerts up because I will be streaming it live, if you will, just like the way I did. I'm not sure how many of you caught that live I did with Blue last year in August, but it's gonna be something like that. Your second, you're Ryan. You're on my main one. I have a second one. I have two TikTok accounts, but I also have a YT account. Everything that I do. Everything is archived on my YT page. So if there's any time that you want to play something back, or you feel like you missed out on something, or the court hearings or whatnot, you could go over there and check it out. All right, they're calling back.
This call is now being recorded.
You are. Yeah. This is the second one.
David Lopez.
Un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta...
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
James. Yep.
David. Yep.
Cracking.
Yeah. So let me see. I got a question for Void You Out. Does the victim's family forgive him?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not. You know, I'm sure the same goes for Jesse. You know, we that's not something that we have a right to ask them. And I've never heard that verbalized from them. And so I'm going to have to assume that no, absolutely not.
I have been fortunate enough to see other guys in our situation, though, receive forgiveness from the victims' families, but Blue being one of them. But they don't have a right to ask for it. If the family gives it to you, it's more about them and less about you. They do it to release it from themselves, so they're not sitting with this cancer, this.
I don't even feel like I have a right to even consider that.
You
know, consider that question and for them, you know, to speak for them or speak what they feel, and you know, it's just unknown, you know. But that was a good question, though. Thank you for asking it. What else you got, James?
And then we got a question from Miss Leanne, and she wrote, if they wrote you, would you write back to the family?
I think I would, but I don't know if I'm allowed to. If they wrote us a letter, just would we be able to respond? Yeah, I would definitely respond if I was allowed to, or if I was you know, a letter was written for them. Absolutely. I think that I owe them everything. You know, I owe them anything that I could possibly give them.
Any kind of closure,
anything,
peace of mind,
anything,
understanding,
for sure. And even if they wrote me and chewed me out and cussed me out and did whatever, like I owe them that. They have that coming, and I owe it to them to read every word and to internalize it.
Yep.
Their words to me are actually the catalyst to my change, James. I told you that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's during the victim impact statement. Absolutely. I'm a changed man today, and everything I do is because of what they told me at that court date, at that hearing.
And let me see. I got a comment from Miss Leanne. She wrote, "I'm gonna try to write the guy that took my brother's life in the years to come."
That's a very brave thing for you to do. Yeah. And I hope to God that that person has half as much sense as we do to not do further harm to you by that letter. But that's a powerful thing, and even if you don't send a letter, it's still important to write it.
Got another.
That was great. I'm glad you told us that. Go ahead.
Got a question from Chacha, and she wrote, "What does he know about?" Hold on, where'd it go? What does he know about the victim? Was he in the life, etc.?
I didn't know him. I didn't know the individual. And that's, because I don't want to say anything that would be kind of disparaging to the individual. All I can tell you is that I went to sell a firearm to somebody, and when I was selling the gun to him, we had disagreements, and we started arguing, and I ended up shooting him. And so that's what it is, My case, it's easy. My name is David Isaac Lopez. David Isaac Lopez with 2 A's. If you Google it, you can read about my case. It's on there. The situation, it was all over the news. And that's really it, Because
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
those are kind of difficult questions to answer. Those are hard questions because I don't want to ever speak down on a person that that lost their life.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is I also don't know the individual to build them up. Where it's like, well, who am I to say anything about this guy? Good or bad, what gives me the right to even speak his first name when we weren't on a first name basis? So those are difficult things. I acknowledge this individual. I don't put his name out here, to protect his family and his identity. It's on there. It's on the public record. It's on the news, and so that's it. I could just defer you to that.
Chacha wrote, "Thanks for answering," and Voided Out wrote, "Did it happen in 2010?"
Yes. Well, 2010. That's me.
I got a question from Mama Bear, and she's asking, if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would that be?
Fuck. Want to go on that one, Jess?
If I could tell my younger self something, it would be that I have no right to use my pain as an excuse to hurt other people.
I would just tell him to believe in himself.
And
to know, there's nothing to be shameful about, and to also to believe in myself. There was nothing wrong with me as a kid, so there's no reason for me to latch on to some other identity, such as a gang member or cholo or those things. I didn't have to do that. I could have just been a productive human being. Could have probably went to the military with the way I work out and my physique and all that stuff. I could have easily have done great things, I'm very smart too. Like I'm book smart, and I just never believed in myself. And so I would just say to believe in yourself. What else you got, James?
Mama Bear wrote, "That was an incredible and inspiring answer, 100%.
Thank you.
And I have a question from Void You Out. Void You Out wants to know, how do I start off writing the man that took my uncle's life?
Fuck, man.
I think that would depend on what is your reason for writing the letter. You know, are you writing the letter to give yourself closure? Are you writing the letter to express your grief? Like it would just depend what your reasoning behind writing the letter would determine, like, how do you start it? You know, because if you have any intent of forgiving the person, or if you have no intent, you could start off by saying, hey, I'm not writing this letter to make friends with you. I'm not writing this letter to forgive you. I'm writing this letter to get some things off my chest. You know, some of the pain that you've caused me. You know, it all depends why you're writing the letter. At least I believe. You know.
She wants.
I think that Go ahead.
They want to know why he did what he did.
Why I did?
No, not
why he wants to know why the guy killed his uncle.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Well, okay, so I guess that it depends if you want an answer back. You know, it's one way that you can write it, and it's a one-way trip. You could even probably give it a bogus address on the return address, and just say your piece. Or if you're looking for a response, be careful with the response. Because like I said, if Jesse and I were to get a letter like that, we're going to respond genuinely and from the heart with an understanding of what we did and who we were. And you may not get that. You may not get that in the person who took your loved one from you. And so you have to be prepared for that. First and foremost, get yourself prepared for that, because you might not like the response you get.
You might get some bullshit roundabout way. Like they might. A lot of them won't even write back, because I know people who've gotten letters from back when I was still living in that life, who got letters from the families, and they never even responded based on the fact that they were just like, I'm not trying to hear all that, or like, well, I don't even know why they're writing me, you know, things like that. But you might, and the ones who half-ass feel a little bit of guilt for what they've done, they're still going to write back with some bullshit, you know, minimization. They're going to they're going to do self-serving responses and try to make it sound as if, you know, they may have not had any other choice. You know, they may be like, I'm sorry for what I did, but, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And that's the thing, you know, that you have to be careful for as well. You know, until somebody truly understands and truly feels remorse, can they be 100% accountable and take responsibility for everything that they've caused for you. And if they haven't done the work to even begin to understand how much pain and hurt that they've caused, then you can't expect to receive a letter of any real probative value to you.
I guess I would start the letter by saying I'm writing this letter as a way to try to bring closure to my family for the horrible thing you did to my loved one. You know, and that's what. I guess it's such an intimate thing, though. You know, for me to, because I guess it would be the letter that I would want from the individual who I took from this world. What I think that.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I would want his family to ask me why I did it, so that I could tell him, that I can tell them that it had nothing to do with him. It was all me. I did it. It wasn't. There's no justification. It didn't matter if he was a gang member. It didn't matter if he was any. It doesn't matter.
You didn't do it to him. You were going to do it to somebody else.
Exactly. And that's, I guess, what I would want them to ask me was why. Why could you? How could you do something like this? You know, and I could tell them exactly why. I was a violent gang member, drug dealer who cared more about my status and reputation than I did about human life. Nothing his family could have done, or anybody could have done to deter me on my path. It could have only ended one way.
Hey, are they in California or are they in another state? Because they have a program here in California called Healing Dialogue, and Healing Dialogue gives you the opportunity for the families to meet with the person. It's a whole process, but it's one of the most powerful workshops you'll ever see. Like, every time I watch them, I'm down there in tears. There's to see what's going on between the victims' families and the aggressor, but it has to be. They only work with people who are in that headspace to truly understand what they've done and to give the people that closure. So maybe their state, or if he's not in California, maybe the states that they're in.
They're in Missouri.
Programs, because okay, in Missouri. I'm not too sure.
But it's possible there should be through the courts or through the district attorney's office. There should be some sort of a victim's advocacy, and I would definitely defer you to them so that you could talk to them about it, because they, there's people there's grief counselors, there's people that they have available that I know they have it in California, that they can help kind of navigate that, and I'm glad you asked us that question, and I hope we can shed some light on it, because it's a very powerful thing for Jesse and I. This is representative of our change and our remorse by opening ourselves up to questions like these.
For sure.
How we demonstrate that, because we want to help you. We want you guys to feel some peace. And if anything we can do, any part of our story can be used to help you navigate that. Feel free. If you need more clarity, give me some time to think if you need us to do that. And you could always reach out to us. You could reach out to us through James. You could reach out to us directly. And we can try. We can try to help you. Maybe it might take thinking outside the box a little bit,
Yep, we could even potentially help you by actually writing a letter.
Yeah.
Maybe take some of the burden off you, and you could talk about maybe some of the things you want to hear. And because we understand to some extent what you may want to hear or what you're looking for, because we've
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Well, what we've done. So if you ever need help, maybe writing that letter, we're here. We can
know how to reach
potentially write the letter, and you could send it, and
James, it's going to click off. James, I know you said you had to go.
Call back because I want to read off some of the comments that she put, and then we'll say the goodbyes and we'll cut it. I just don't want to, leave it off just like that.
I'll give you guys a call back.
All right, for sure. All right. I need to go stretch my legs out, if you will. Man, he goes up for parole next year. Should I write the parole board? Bobby Hills. What makes his time go by fast? Let me see. I think when parole comes up, I know family gets into China. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that is right. Yep. Rosie, thank you for the like. Highly appreciate it. Man, I see we hit 17,000 taps, so highly appreciate that. Great question and amazing answers. Hey, what's up, Kerry? Gracias. Highly appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are having a great Sunday evening. Like I said, I'll be back at 7. I got a video visit going on, so that'll be in about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna take a little break. Does he have a chance to come out? He does. They do. Jesse, he goes to the parole board next year. David doesn't go until another 5 years, so 2030, I believe. So as long as everything remains the same as it currently is in California, then where is your little hairdresser? Man, she's not here right now. She took off. She had a party to attend. You see, when that comes for me, I want to be old and I don't know what my options will be. I'm on the fence. David and Jesse sound like.
This call is now being recorded.
Link. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
James.
Right,
we have a little problem connecting right now, but go ahead.
No worries. Let me see. Kerry wrote, David and Jesse sound like what remorse should sound like, answering their questions, laughing out loud. Yup.
We appreciate you guys. We appreciate that, Thank you.
And then let me see. Void You Out wrote, he goes up for parole next year. Should I write the parole board?
Absolutely.
You can even attend the hearing, and you could potentially ask questions. I'm not sure the process there, but it depends if you oppose the parole or you can actually get a full workup to see what they've done. Whether or not they're eligible by law, but whether or not they've done what they need to do to be found suitable, so you can actually find out exactly what that person's doing with their life.
Yeah, victims of crime. You guys are victims. Your loved one was obviously he was the biggest victim in this, but you guys are right there. Yeah. You guys are victims, and you guys should be present at a person's parole hearing to voice exactly what that person's actions did to you guys. Yeah. That's something that Jesse and we got coming. That's something that we want to show our remorse to them.
And the good thing about that, if you are there for the first hearing and they're denied, you'll be able to gauge how sincere and how real they are by the next hearing. If they address your victim impact statement,
yep.
If they address the things that you said, if they put that much heart into what you said, then you know that at least they listened to you, that you were heard, that you were being heard.
Yep.
And then sometimes that's a determinant on how sincere they are. It's
we listen. And
yeah,
Silas listened. Silas got found suitable, and he listened, and he was still talking about it on the yard. Yep. He was on the yard talking about it. Put Silas in tears.
Yep, tore him up.
And the same goes with me. Like, I listened. I was at the court, and yes, I put up a strong face. I acted like I didn't give a fuck. I heard every word, and that was a catalyst to my change. It took years. Where it was eating at me, those words. Thinking about his son, thinking about his family, and what my actions did to them. And it broke me. It freaking, I could not go on hurting another person. I haven't used drugs. I can't do it. Because I think about his mom. I don't even think his mom's alive anymore. She told me, she said, and she wasn't hard on me. That's the thing. They didn't berate me. They didn't cuss at me. They just told me, look at imagine, what it would be like if your mom was sitting in our shoes. I mean, that happened. I got sentenced over 10 years ago, and I still think I can almost, word for word, I can hear what they were saying. And I think it's important for you to let your victimizer know exactly what he did to you guys. And it doesn't have to be about, well, I think you should rot in prison. I think you should get the death penalty. It's not about that. It's about making your voice heard and having an impact in that person's life, look, if he's not ready to go home, he goes aboard in a year, it doesn't mean that he's ready to go home. We see guys here going aboard all the time, and we see a denial coming a mile away. That could be him, and be prepared for that. Be prepared to see somebody that may not take any responsibility for anything and might even blame you guys.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Be prepared for that. We see it in here all the time. A lot of people think they're the victims. And so I hope you're prepared for that, and I think that you should have professional help. Or if you think you got it, just remember, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us through James. James will relay us messages and stuff like that, but it's a very serious thing. And you're there representing a person that you love. I'm sure you're not there for the guy going to board. You're there representing somebody who can't be there himself or herself.
Yep.
So that's what it's all about, You guys got to make your voice heard, and that's what it is,
What else you got, James?
Yeah.
Let me see here. They want to know if Silas is out. Now Silas still has a little bit more time, a few more months before he gets...
few more months, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see here. And then there was another one out here that I wanted to read off. Where is it here? Miss Lee Ann wrote, I'm so glad you do this. It helped me because the people who call me are friends with my brother. So I believe her brother lost lost his life, and then she knows people that are incarcerated.
You know,
So
well, you know what? We're glad too, because you know we try to come on here to make sure that we want to come in here and talk about things of substance. That's our motivation. You know, there's times where we joke around and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we're here to help try to transform lives. And if we could bring you guys any peace, then hey, trust me, it's all worth it. And we're glad that you guys were here with us too, because you guys also affect us.
Yep.
You know.
It's healing,
For sure.
It's healing and therapeutic for us.
We have a lot of healing.
We have an obligation, to give back and an obligation to help in any way that we can. If we can help prevent, a perpetuating cycle by sharing experiences or anything like that, or if we can help anybody heal by, or giving them an example of what it looks like, then by all means.
Hey, even if you want to come on here and cuss us out.
Yeah.
If that's what you, yeah.
If you're looking for a punching bag, Dave's right here.
Right here. Let me have it. But, go ahead, James. What you got?
all right, so I think that'll let me see, Florida girl,
Candle?
yeah, but let me see, Florida girl just snuck one in. She wrote, my brother's life was taken, and all 7 are walking free. Rosie wrote, God bless and keep up the good work.
Thank you guys, and I'm sorry to hear that. Everything has a, I believe that people who do evil in this world, evil will be done to them. Whether you call it karma, whether you call it something or another, there's a price to pay for everything. All pain, no pain is free. Yeah. And so, I hope that brings you some peace. People like that, especially if they got away with something that was, like that, they're too stupid to see what they did in the past, and they're going to repeat situations and cycles, and they're probably going to end up on the other end of the gun barrel eventually. That's just the reality of that cycle.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, James, I appreciate you, James. This is amazing topics today. Good conversations, man.
Appreciate you guys taking time out of your day, everybody. You and the audience also, taking time out of your day to, to listen to these conversations.
You guys were all amazing out there. We send our love and respect to everybody out there, and our condolences for, everything you guys are going through out there.
Mm-hmm.
Send ours to all the listeners, to James and everybody else for spending this Sunday evening with us. Monday tomorrow, back to the rat race.
Yep, lunch with the lifer.
Yeah, lunch with a lifer.
All right, James. Well, stay in touch, James. All right. Hey, I'm gonna talk to Ricky. We'll probably give you a call. We're gonna give you a call soon, probably by tomorrow, if we have some answers. All right.
Okay. Cool. For sure. All right. Sounds good. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. And like I said around here, lights like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we're out. A rato.
A rato.